Good, what's good, what's good, what is good? For those who have stopped by, make sure you hit the like button. We're going to talk about an important subject, the Hornets. The Hornets. They're shooting 29%. I repeat, the Charlotte Hornets are shooting 29% from three. It is atrocious. It is just pathetic. A lot of folks just shooting threes. They're not playing the right way. They're not even trusting their personnel. So if I was a coach, and shout out to Lewis, if I was a coach and my team is shooting 29% from three, even though Jello is shooting 44%, and then Kuboka, the Lithuania dude, is shooting a good percentage, those are the only positive 3-point percentage shooters. With all that, this team still have too many players shooting threes. Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Jaheem Neslet says, "What's up, DJ New Media fam?" Jaheem, since you always show up to all of the videos, no matter if I'm talking about ball content or not, just for that, I'm going to give you a wrench. My gift to you, my brother. Shout out to Jay Blunt. 29% from three. That's pathetic. So you know what the team should do? How about you do some double screen action for Jello and get him involved? We're not talking about just because most of us are fans of LiAngelo Ball. It's just what the film is stating. Shout out to the Pope. Uh, the Pope, you got a wrench, my brother. Thank you for supporting new media. It's really pathetic, man. And in this game today, I truly hope that the Hornets can use some common sense. They have not won a game yet in Summer League. They're getting whooped by everybody. I don't care if it's a close game. Oh, Hoop Jargon said him and the Pope got something cooking. Oh, yeah, be on the lookout. Ashley Just Souls, I should have been giving you a wrench. You got a wrench, my sister. I'm feeling like Santa Claus today. I'm just giving out wrenches today. Travari says, DJ, look here. Look here. I was almost right, Uncle Vern. You was almost right, Uncle Vern. Now, I can't bring it up that much because a lot of people, Who Dragon said DJ Oprah. Oh, man. Shout out to Uncle Vern, man. Shadow Lotus says playing ISO ball. Yeah. And it was funny because the Spurs, a lot of those Spurs players in the last game, they're trying to make a roster. They're trying to impress Greg Popovich. But they still played the right way. Every time I watch the Hornets, they're one of the few teams where you get an eyesore from watching them play. You literally get an eyesore because you know what's going to happen. ISO dribble, shoot over two defenders, miss the open corner three, barely running any plays. And I'm thinking that this assistant coach is a lapdog. How many plays is he running? David, correct. Jello has done enough to be. He's shooting 44%. He's shown NBA teams that he's a marksman. That's all he needed to do. Ashley Just Soul says, "You get a wrench. You get a wrench, Oprah." I'm on that Oprah mode. Jaheim says they have way too many turnovers. Yeah, remember the last game, a total of 23 turnovers. And I want to say shout out to Dex for sending me the stats for the Hornets that they're shooting as a team 29%. That's embarrassing. When you got two shooters that are shooting above 35% from three and you still shooting 29% as a team, that's terrible. Jay Blunt says, how many minutes you think Jello is going to play? It really depends. Um, he'll have more minutes in the last game. I guarantee that. Uh-oh. Thunder's right. Thunder says they have the highest turnovers in Summer League. Yeah, they're up there. There's a for those asking how you could get a wrench. There's really two simple ways to get a wrench. Number one, if you watch all the videos, almost all the videos. I know sometimes people have a busy schedule, and the people who donate to the channel, you definitely get a wrench, and consistently does it. That's how you do it. Donna says, "What up with the black screen?" Well, it's kind of smoky outside. Um, there's a lot of fires around the West Coast, so I didn't want to go out there and breathe in all that smoke out there. So I'm in the house, and I just got my phone down. So we'll just treat this like a podcast. We'll treat it like a podcast where y'all just hear what I talk about, and we have a good time. Sir Maximus says, "Let me borrow y'all wrenches. I gotta build a new hairline." Ashley says they the highest turnovers because they play selfishly. It's really that simple. We've done streams the whole time and during LaMelo season when Alonzo was playing with the Pelicans and so forth. What is the consistent saying that we always talk about? When you don't have team identity, there's going to be selfishness. There's going to be my way or the highway, and that mentality is a losing mentality. It's a losing mentality because if you don't give the players sets on your position is to do this, your job is to do that. Give an example. Book Night. If Book Night was able to play shooting guard like he wants to do, you wouldn't see the turnovers and the mistakes, even though he's shown flashes. Book Night is one of those players. He'll have a couple bad plays, and then he'll have a couple of wild plays where you say, wow, he's really going to be really good. He's got to eliminate the boneheaded plays and just simplify his game and say, hey, let's do what works. That last game against the Spurs, in the first half, Book Knight was trying so hard because they were losing, and he's trying to prove a point, and he's motivated because he thought he was going to be in the top five in the draft selection, and he wasn't. I get that. But he's got to chill out and let the game come to him. Oh, yeah, Ashley, I see the autocorrect. Yesha says the Hornets might as well gone ahead and sign him and said they ain't got to play against him. Hoop Jargon said Dex the man. Yeah, shout out to Dex. Good brother, by the way. Good brother. Jay Blunt says, you think they make more play for Jello? More plays for Jello? We got to see it first. Hoop Jargon, you trying to be slick, man. Talking about cash at Hoop Jargon, I help you get you rich, y'all. Yeah, shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. David N says, do you know what network the game is on? For those in the chat, what network the game is on? I don't think it's on ESPN. Man, I won't even be able to do the stream because I got to work today. The game's at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, I was going to do this. I was going to just have the audio play. And if anyone wants to join the panel, they can talk and chop it up while I'm at work, just making sure everything is good. But I don't know. What y'all think? Since this is the people's channel, what do y'all want to do? AJ Watson says, no way you pass on a 40% three-point shooter no matter how many minutes he plays. You're right, man. You're right. They missing all those three. That's the funny part about the Hornets. That team is missing all them threes. And they looking around confused. Why are they not making them? Of course, you're not giving the shooters the ball. The answers is right in their face, and they choose to ignore it. They go on these press conferences and say, "Man, I don't even know why we're off on three. Man, we just gotta make sure that we're focused and dialed in. You know why y'all missing threes? The non-shooters are shooting too many threes. They're jacking it up, hoping it will go in. When you could have had Jello involved more. And again, I'm not saying Jello's a superstar, so I'm just saying he's a 44% three-point shooter. Wouldn't it be smart to get him involved? That's all I'm asking for. Jaheim Nesbitt says NBA TV. We got almost 70 plus people in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Someone else says G League TV. Yeshua says they miss more threes than a high school dropout missed school days. Damn. That's a lot of bricks. You know, this team is shooting bricks. All day bricks. Gotta get bricks. That team's shooting bricks. Shout out to Oliver Leonard. He said, bless new media. Thank you, my brother. Tap into Itachi podcast says, bro, honestly, I think he could make if he go to the G League. That ain't bad. I just want to see Jello play. I've been consistent at that. I don't want to see Jello just ride the bench. Wherever the Jello goes to, I want him to play. So if it's the NBA, I want Jello to play at least 15 minutes. If he's on an active roster, that's what I believe. If he can't play 15 minutes, then he has to, there's nothing wrong with going to the G League. Because if he's just riding the bench on an active roster, that's not going to help his development. Tap. I see what you're talking about, man. It's social media. You know how it is. A lot of typos. Maximus says NBA TV won't work out in the West. ESPN app is the only place that has worked for me. Maximus says his talent won't allow him to be a bench warmer. One hot shooting night will command attention and respect. I hope the Hornets see it. That's all I ask for. I'm just saying what I believe and what I've seen, and he's shooting 40-some% shooting. Jello is showing that he's what you think, a utility player who's a marksman at three. That's what he is, and NBA teams are looking for that. I I truly feel that Jello will get one of those last spots for the Hornets. Now, how many minutes he'll play, we'll see. Does that mean he won't go to the G League? Who knows? But he hasn't played in 2 years. So it's something we got to monitor after Summer League. I can't wait for preseason. Shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. He said normalize super chats. Yeah, man. Y'all show love to Hoop Jargon too, man. Let's grow these channels out. Let's do his thing. Reed says Hornets' first preseason game is October 4th versus OKC. Y'all remember that. Circle in your calendars. Preseason is going to tell a lot where Jello will go, how he'll be utilized, and it will have a clear understanding. It will be more informative than Summer League. Summer League is fun because we get to see Jello just play something. Jello played 11 minutes the last game, and a lot of people still tuned into it. Shadow Wolf Lotus says if the Hornets don't sign him, another team will. I believe that as well. Look at the playoff teams. Look at all the playoff teams who need shooters. They have shooters, but they want more shooters, and they could get Jello on the cheap. Yeah. So if I'm the Hornets, they better put him on the active roster. Taufik says YouTube should normalize polls like it was 2016. Anyways, tonight decides Jello's fate. That's what Taufik just stated. AJ Watson says, I want the summer league coach to be honest about Jello. No more sugarcoating. You say give him minutes, you do it. Yeah, no more sugarcoating. Uh-oh. So Hoop Jargon just pointed out he said EYE. I said normalize super chat. Thanks for the love, bro. Yeah, we gonna definitely normalize it, man. And actually, believe it or not, it helps the algorithm. Even though they take 30%, you know how YouTube is. But I'm thinking about talking about some Cowboys as well, NFL. If anybody's interested in listening to NFL content, let me know. Me and Hoop will definitely cook up something. Donna Gatlin says, yes, the commentators are talking about him now. They didn't show him any love until his second game. You noticed that, right? David N says, if you think last year Jello could have been playing however minutes both of the Twins were getting, still averaged more than 3 to 4 points they did, it still remained to be seen because this Hornets team will say they'll do one thing and do another. It's never consistent. Rave Kingdom says, I love the Ravens. I'm cool with NFL content. Oh, yeah, we definitely going to do some more of that. Rap God says, Jello is guaranteed spot preseason, regular season. You heard it first from Rap God. Donna Gatlin says he can't do anything if he don't get the ball. Yeah. Shout out to the sister J&J video for the $5 super chat to help grow the nation out. Says new media salute DJ getting back in the swing. Oh yeah. And subscribe to J&J video. She does editing, she has great commentary, and let's support these channels, man. Y'all here subscribing to ESPN, man, and ESPN putting trash shows, First Take, you already know what that's about. And then Bubba Gump, Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. When all the entertainment is on social media. So shout out to all the content creators who are doing their thing. And James says, I keep hearing people bringing up all those other teams. I say, screw those other teams. They had years to give Jello a chance. The Hornets behind the scenes probably had already signed them. I would not be surprised if that happens, Aunt James. And besides, one thing about Jello is a loyal dude. And he's appreciative of what LaMelo did. LaMelo went out of his way to bring Jello to this point. LaMelo did it when it wasn't even popular. And since he has done that, I'm not worried about Jello going to another team. So you're definitely right about that, and James. J&J video laughing about that Bubba Gump Shannon Sharp. But skill. I hate when he says that, man. Like Skip Bayless is gonna understand, or he's gonna calm down from his talking point if he just talk all docile. But skill. Shout out to Yvonne T for the $5 super chat. New media to this day. Day one supporter. But skill. Understand me, brother. Skip Bayless is eye rolling, not giving a fuck. But skill. If you just listen to my point, brother, listen. Skill. Skill. That sound like Amos and Eddie. See, boss, if you could just listen to me and understand my talking point, skill. Let me lay off. Let me lay off Shannon Sharp. Let me get back to Jello, man. Who Jang said run those super chats up already. H Town for life. So how many people in the chat from Texas? I know I'm from Texas. Y'all know I'm from Texas. Who Jargon from Houston, Texas. Shout out to my Texas folks already. Osman says, DJ, my God, what's good, Osman, man? Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Thank you for supporting New Media Nation United. Marcus Gibson is in the house. Jonathan Williams said, will Jello handle the treatment that Borrego did to LaMelo? Uh-oh. And let me repeat that question again. Shout out to Jonathan Williams. He says, would Jello handle the treatment that Borrego did to LaMelo? I'm going to tell you what I think, and I could be wrong. Shout out to Johnny Cat. He said, went to Dallas not too long ago. I messed with Texas. Salute. Oh, yeah. Shout out to New York, man. I got a lot of subs from New York. I'll tell you one thing about New Yorkers. They love them some basketball. Yeah, they could yell and they're passionate, but they care about the sport. Just like Texas cares so much about football. Irvin Covey says, yes, I'm from San Antonio. Shout out to San Antonio. Jonathan Williams from Cypress. Man, shout out to the folks in Cypress, Texas. North Carolina in the house. QJ Smith. John Heens from South Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina, man. New Jersey is in the house, man. Shout out to Jersey. That was a good question, Jonathan Williams. Luckily, it seems like Borrego has turned a new leaf. Now, I got to see it first. But he's following LaMelo around. He's following LaMelo so much, it looks like a little lapdog the way he's following him. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. I mean, he's at the bench next to LaMelo. He's asking questions to LaMelo. Sometimes LaMelo just want to ignore the brother, be like, hey, man, I appreciate you, James Borrego, for supporting me in all the camps and everything. But, man, you got to follow me everywhere? But Borrego's doing this to keep his job. Yes, he has a multi-year extension, but teams could find a way to get rid of that if Borrego doesn't produce. So I think they'll try to make Jello earn it a little bit, but it won't be as bad because the team has acquiesced to LaMelo Ball. They want to keep him. They know if they screw Jello over, there's no way they could get LaMelo to sign a long-term deal when his contract is up. Ashley Just Soul says, I'm in Oakland, by the way, of Philly originally, but I'm moving back to the DMV soon. I lived all over the country. Yo, Ashley, man, that's crazy, man. Like, I bet you probably developed a lot of accents going from Oakland to Philly to DMV. I moved around too. You know, I'm originally from Houston, but in the last couple years, I moved to place, and due to the job I work. So I know what that's like, and I got a little Texas accent in me, but sometimes I feel like I'm losing it. Ray, I do believe that Melo is his ticket to keep his job. Yep. Hey, sometimes you need that power to make things work, man. Nothing wrong with that. We got some folks from Guyana. Oliver Leonard's from South America. Shout out to the homies in South America. Guyana. I think it says Guyana. Osby, you see the playbook? Yeah, homeboy is trying to keep his job. He ain't trying to mess that up. Borrego knows if he does one thing to screw up this season, man, he is out like a scout on a brand new route. He's, he, He's gonna be beyond the upper room if he messes this up. Shout out to Evil Raven. He said, "What's good? Peace and blessings, brother." Jada Great says, "Miami in the building." Shout out to Miami, man. 305. That's how Miami be like. I'm a dead county. I got the Chevy in the dunk trunk. 305 Miami. Shout out to Miami, man. No doubt. QJ Smith told you all, hit that like button. We got 90 plus people in the chat. Can y'all at least hit the like button, show a brother some love, man. Ashley just so says, I lost my accent, except when I get mad, it comes out. I had to blend the slang of words through. I know the feeling, man. They hear me speak, they hear the deep voice, but they were like, "You're from Houston?" And then when I'm frustrated or that H town voice comes out. Alberdor 305 Iceberg Live. Shout out to the 305. No cap though. Y'all gotta give props to Miami. I believe swag came from Miami. I truly believe that. Swag came from Miami, man. They were ahead of the curve decades ago. There's no front. So shout out to the 305, man. Yeah, I see that Zaire is going crazy. Zaire Williams. Uzi says, let him know. Oh yeah, I have to let him know. Yeah, I may be a Texas cat, but I know where swag come from. Swag came from Miami. All the stuff these entertainers trying to do, that stuff has been done years ago. Now I'm not saying each city hasn't brought their own type of swag, but Miami is literally the first place where you see brothers with tattoos and different jewelries and different accessories. That's Miami. There was a time all that stuff wasn't even cool until the brothers and sisters in Miami were doing it. Yeah, Uzi says you gave you Trick Daddy, Pitbull, Laz, and Uncle Luke. Facts. Gotta respect the OGs, man. TB says just logging in from the 619. Good sports day so far. Hopefully it continues with Jello, yeah. I just want them to give Jello the ball. And James says, I would say Harlem back in the day and Miami since the 1980s. You know what? That's both true. Harlem, during the Harlem Renaissance, if you read your books, man, they had some players back in the day, man. Brothers knew how to dress, knew how to talk. They had the gift of gab. You see, today, man, it, social media is a blessing and a curse because a lot of people don't know how to interact because of social media. So they get out in person and they freeze up and don't know what to say. They see a beautiful woman and they act like this. Uh, Hi. That's what they do. Social media has ruined interaction. They'd be like, uh, my name is Harold. And they freeze up. But if you talk to a brother from if a brother in Miami talks to a sister out there, this is how they be. Hey yo, I've been checking you out, man. What you got going on? They just go out and say it. Tell me if I'm lying. They just go out and say, what you got going on tonight? I mean, that's confidence right there. Tell me if I'm lying. Wearing Coogee sweaters, they. This how Miami is. When they step out, they know their look speaks for itself. So all they have to do is just shoot their shot. Like, hey man, I'm stepping out tonight, man. You down for the night? They'll just say it regular. That's swagger right there. Not being afraid of rejection. And sorry to go off on a tangent, man, but just giving props to Miami. TB says Miami more on that Latin swag, in my opinion. Elijah Shaw says new media trying to get to work to catch the game after my meeting, but you noticed the old media are now pointing out Jello's high school play and some of the current NBA players he play against? Oh yeah, that's the playbook. Albert Doyle, he says, can't be scared to shoot your shot. The more you shoot your shot, the more it will hit. Start with a 10, work your way down. You ain't lying on that. You ain't lying on that, brother. And James says, if you see a brother with swagger in his walk wearing fur coats automatically before they speak, you can tell they from New York. Oh, you ain't lying on that. Shout out to New York. And someone said Detroit with the buffs. You know that you from Detroit, you wearing them buffs. Charm MC says true. She said her ex-husband is from Miami. You see it work, didn't it? Elijah Saw says he got Jello dropping 30 tonight. Boy, if Jello drops 30 tonight, the whole Sports Center will be on a high. They will be showing highlights every day. They're gonna be telling their interns to say, "Hey, man, we're gonna be running Jello highlights all day today." They try to get them views. ESPN think they slick. Motier says mission shots isn't that big of a deal in summer league. It's only a bigger deal when you have 3-point shooters and you're not giving the 3-point shooters the ball. And you're jacking up threes knowing you're shooting 20-some% from three. That's just playing basketball backwards. Facts, Donna, ratings. They gonna see all these content creators making content, and ESPN gonna tell them little interns, "Hey man, we can't be having this. I want you to play every Jello interview all day." That's what they gonna say. They say we ain't trying to have these content creators up us. Hoop Jargon said if Jello drops 30, I'm gonna quit my job and go crazy. If Jello drops 30, man, I need a 45-minute break on my job. I'm gonna tell my boss, I'm like, hey, I gotta take this 45-minute break. This is important. I'm going live on my phone. You're most likely gonna look over water because you know that's how my phone streams be. Like that one person that asked me, DJ, why do you always put it on an island in water? Because I want people to chill out. I want people to be at peace. Who Jargon said, I'm going to change my name to Jello Jargon. Bro, you better not do that. That ain't new media if you do that. Jello Jargon. You know what? Guess what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to change my YouTube name to uh, LaMelo Answers. I'm going to change it to LaMelo Answers. Oh, man. I love this stream. We got 100 plus people in the chat and 40 likes. Can y'all at least get the likes up? Get that algorithm up so YouTube don't be trying to play no games. TB says Hornets media saying Tebe going to be efficient as Zoe and cost half the price. Well, their love for Devontae Graham is odd. They got that Jim Jones thing going on. Devontae Graham is a good six man. If they are dependent on Devontae Graham to be better than Zoe, they must be smoking the best stuff. I don't see it. So the way they're talking like Devontae's going to lead the Pelicans into a couple playoff wins. It's the weirdest thing, man. And James says Uncle Luke and his crew got the Miami swag popping nationally. Yeah, they did. Props to them. Flowers to them brothers. Garrett Bass says, "What's up, New Media 808?" Saying hello. Jello will help fill seats, sell jerseys, and bring positive impact to the Hornets organization. A great underdog story. If Jello pulls this off, this will be one of the best basketball stories in a while. This will be something where it's definitely going to be a 30 for 30. And the 30 for 30 will probably be called Jello's Way. How Jello went from embarrassing moment to purgatory in basketball career wise, now playing in the NBA. Y'all can't tell me that won't sell. Ashley Jasol says, right, Pelican fans acting delusional. No, Pelican fans hate Lonzo so much, they are convincing themselves that Devontae Graham is what they need to advance in the playoffs. That is the dumbest crap I've ever heard. Elijah Shaw said he lost his spot to LaMelo, so how is he better than Zoe? Facts. That doesn't even make no damn sense. And Elijah, you know what's crazy? They were making sure LaMelo wouldn't start, and Devontae Graham still lost his spot. They weren't even trying to give LaMelo that spot. They were trying to do all these politics with LaMelo, and LaMelo was playing so well and having game winners and key assists and better on defense than they thought that they had to play him. Ashley knows. Boy, they did a lot of tricks, man. There were games where LaMelo would have a double-double. He's about to have a triple-double in around 23 minutes, and then the rest of the game, they'll sit him off because they'll say they don't want him to break any more records. That was the dumb shit they were doing. Politics, man. And that's what they be doing with this kid, man. Hey, brother, Stank Mouth Charlie says Jello too soft, not a killer instinct like LaMelo. Now, I don't want y'all to block this cat, right? That's his warning. That's his warning. I don't want y'all to block him. But that's typical trolling, brother. That's typical. How's Jello not a killer when he's willing to take last second shots and not get nervous? How is Jello not a killer when he had to wait for a long time to play? He could have gave up basketball literally and still played. How's Jello not a killer when his name is called on and he's willing to take any shot possible to help win for his team? How's Jello not a killer when he's the best three-point shooter in the family? I know, hey, I get you're a fan, brother. That's why you're not blocked. See, in new media, we'll let people speak. I'm just wanted to understand why he's not a killer. Now, I would have understood if you said Jello's not a star or Jello would be a role player. He'll be a role player that's needed for a three-point shooter. Then you can explain. But he's the best three-point shooter in the family. It's not even close. Hypothetically. This is hypothetically. Shout out to Dex. He said good teachings. Thank you, my brother. Because I want to educate. If the Ball brothers eventually play on the same team, right? If they ever do, who are you giving the ball for the last second three? They need a three. Jello, LaMelo, or Lonzo. This is I'm testing your basketball IQ. Who are you giving the ball to for a three-point shot? Jello. That's analytics. That's not because we're rooting for Jello because he's just playing now. No. Take the biases out. Take the assumption. It's Jello. You ask LaMelo. You have your brothers on the team, and you need a three-point shot. LaMelo would say Jello. Lonzo would say Jello. The whole family would say Jello. It's not even close. And you know what's gonna happen if a team leaves Jello open for three, they're gonna pay for it. If Jello wasn't all that, why are teams uh, knocking Jello off the 3 point line? Because they know he's deadly for the 3 point shot. It's common sense. Just because someone's not a star doesn't mean they're not a killer. Jello can play the rest of his career as a role player, but he still will be a killer because do not leave him open for three. Light up. I get what you're saying. You said I want Lamelo because Jello can't create his own shot. I was talking about last second three. For the last second three, you want to give the ball to Jello to shoot it. Now, if you want someone to create a play, that's Lamelo. Like if you want a player to make something happen, that's Lamelo. Because Jello's not a person that handles the ball all the time like that. He's just not. But if you want that 3 point shot, and that's all you need, you give it to Jello. Analytics. Shout out to Pasadena for the $5 super chat. He said, "Get good." Oh yeah, I remember that TB when Jello hit that one hitter quitter on them dudes in Lithuania, man. I knew he had dog then. Most Tier says, "I think Jello will go to the Hornets G League. He could use the reps with playing a good amount, organized games." And look at all the opinions on this stream. Some people are saying Jello will make the team and play. Some people are saying Jello will go to the G League, learn and get better. At the end of the day, this is a blessing for Jello. I'm gonna tell you why. There were some people, there were some shines in old media and non-old media saying that Jello wouldn't make the NBA or G League. I remember people saying that. And look at him now. And James says Melo and Jello are actually the toughest, though sadly haven't stood up for himself over the years with his teammates. Hopefully, this upcoming year, Zoe totally take charge as point guard. Yeah, that's what I want to see from Zoe. I want to see Zoe as soon as they start training camp, the man in the locker room. We already know that Levine and DeRozan, those guys are battle tested, all stars, you name it. But for Zoe, what he has to do is be vocal. Ashley says, as long as he doesn't go home, it's a W to me. Facts. That's why I'm not tripping about it. If Jello had to somehow play the G League, I'm not going to be mad. That means I'll get to watch the LaMelo games and NBA and G League games. It's, as long as Jello plays. And like Ashley stated, as long as Jello is not back in Chino Hills, then that's a win. But man, this was a great stream, man. It was good to chop it up with everybody. But when you head out, hit the like button, and when you're done, just share the content. All 100+ people, I want you to share the content on your social medias, Twitter, Instagram. Show love to the channel. For those who are don't know my Instagram, follow me at DJ Raw Truth, and it's been a great stream, man. It's been fun, man. Peace and blessings to everybody. Show love to all these content creators. Be at peace. Just know that we can create great things when we support each other and supporting these channels. So I'm excited for Jello tonight. I would stream, but I had to work. If I could find a way to stream audio and just have people on to chop it up, I'll do it. But peace and blessings to everybody, man. New media is a family. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.